This is chapter 15, number 10. We are asked to test whether there's a significant relationship between the two variables. On the left, we have personality type, introvert and extrovert. And on top, we have color preference, red, yellow, green, or blue. So we're trying to figure out whether knowing something about whether somebody is introverted or extroverted, that can tell you something about their color preference. We're going to work with the same formula, chi-square formula that we did for the goodness of fit test. So we have the summation of take the difference between the frequency observed minus the frequency expected, square that and set that over the frequency expected. We do have a different formula for the expected frequency. So that's the frequency totals for the row times the frequency totals for the column set over n. And we have a new degrees of freedom, which is row minus 1 times column minus 1. And then we are asked to perform an alpha with an alpha level of 0.05. So let's figure out what this chi-square critical value is. So how many rows are there? There's 2. So 2 rows, 2 minus 1 is 1. So we're going to multiply 1 times, and how many columns are there? There's 4 columns. So 4 minus 1 is 3. So our degrees of freedom is 3. Now we can just look up in our chi-square table the 0.05 significance level, and then with 3 degrees of freedom, our chi-square critical value is 7.81. Okay, so the data that we have is what we observed, right? So that's the F observed. So we do need the F expected, the expected frequencies. So we could do basically a similar table down here with our expected frequencies. So let's do red, yellow, green, blue. So this is introverted, and this is extroverted. Intro and extro. So it'll be useful to maybe put the column and row totals here, because we're going to need those to calculate every value in the cell. So remember, the formula is row times column total set over n. So for any given box, we have its column total, that's 100, and its row total is 50. So that's 100 times 50 set over 200. So I pre-calculated these, but that's the way they're all going to go, right? So this one is 50 times 20 over 200. This one's 50 times 40 over 200. This one's also 50 times 40 over 200. And then this one down here is 100 times 150 over 200, 20 times 150 over 200, 40 times 150 over 200, and 40 times 150 over 200. So you should get the following values. So once you have the expected frequencies table filled out, you can then already start just plugging into the main chi-square statistic calculation. So we're going to have to take the differences of each box, right? So the top left corner box here is going to subtract the top left corner box here. We're going to square that and then set that over the expected frequencies. And there's going to be a lot, right? So there's going to be 8 separate terms for this calculation. So I'll try to make it maybe by 4s, do 4 and then the row 4 just to kind of make it a little bit easier to see. But that's what we're going to be doing. I'm just going to write out the terms and just try not to take up too much time because it'll be kind of a long calculation. So let's just start working it out. So chi squared equals, so 10 minus 25 squared over 25. Plus 3 minus 5 squared over 5. 5 squared over 5. Plus 15 minus 10 squared over 10. Plus 22 minus 10 squared over 10. Plus, and then I'll just continue it down here. So we have plus 90 minus 75 squared over 75. Plus 17 minus 15 squared over 15. Plus 25 minus 30 squared over 30. Plus 18 minus 30 squared over 30. Okay, so these are the terms that we have to add up. I'm going to skip a lot of the in-between steps and just, I already solved each term. So I'll just write that next step down here and then I'll put the final calculation or the final result. So the first term is 9. The second term is 0.8. This third term is 2.5. And the fourth term, 14.4. And then I'll just put the next 4 down here. This term down here is 3. This term here is 0.27. This term here is 0.83. And the last term is 4.8. Okay, so these are what we have to add up, these numbers. So that adds up to 35.6. Okay, so 35.6, our T critical value was 7.81. So we're clearly in the rejection region. So our answer would be to reject the null hypothesis. So there is a significant relationship between color preference and personality type.